Okay, maybe it's just me, but it seems like VR developers are all challenging each other to see who can license the most obscure Sega IPs of all time. I mean, why make VR versions of House of the Dead or Crazy Taxi when you can license Space Channel 5 and Samba de Amigo instead? Well, with C-Smash VRS, an update to Cosmic Smash, a futuristic sports game which only had a Japanese release in 2001 on the Dreamcast, I'm calling it. Developer Wolf and Wood are clearly the winners here. At its core, C-Smash is rooted in 8-bit classics like Breakout or Arkanoid, where you move a paddle back and forth, hitting a ball to knock out a wall made of bricks. But of course here, you're doing it in first person with a much more traditional racket. Now, this is nothing new to VR gamers. We've been playing variations of the genre since VR's inception. Hollow Ball, Proton Pulse, Danger Ball, but it's clear almost from the get-go that C-Smash is the most elegant of the bunch. Most of that comes from the clean environments, super hot like crystalline characters, and the high-res graphics running at 90 FPS with no reprojection. And the haptics from the Sense controller when you hit the ball feel great. It's worth noting that C-Smash plays by its own set of rules. You're playing in low, but not zero gravity, so the physics take a while to get used to. The ball refuses to bounce off the walls after you hit it, and then sort of homes in on you when it's coming back, all of which you can use to your advantage. These aren't negatives, it's just something to get used to. And even though you're strafing with the analog stick and crouching with the X button, which I never remember to use, C-Smash still provides a great workout. The single-player stuff here is fun, and the no-fail Zen mode reminds me a bit of Tetris Effect in the way that it combines classic gameplay with an almost ethereal-like soundtrack, without much fear of failing. Challenge mode is the real meat of the game though. The idea is to plot your route through the galaxy, picking which levels you want to play based on difficulty, power-ups, and time bonuses offered. There's plenty of strategy from hitting the right blocks in the right order, using power-ups, and trying to get the ball behind the furthest layer of blocks possible, as soon as possible, just like you would in Arkanoid, to let the ball do all the work for you. But it's all about finishing stages as fast as possible and building up your bonus time being the hardest part about taking down the game's final boss. There's not a whole lot of content when it comes to the single-player modes, so the $30 price tag might be a bit much to swallow if you're not planning on going online. For everyone else though, the 4 two-player multiplayer modes are probably where you'd be spending most of your time. Head-to-head plays pretty much the same as the single-player mode, but now you have blocks behind you and you're defending them from the other player. Firewall feels like a tug of war, where the more blocks you turn to your color, the more points you rack up. This one's definitely my favorite, and there's actually more strategy here than meets the eye. Body Shot's the closest C-Smash ever comes to Spark, where there are 2 balls going simultaneously, and the goal is to hit the other player. And finally, Quick Shot requires the most precision of all the modes. The game puts one small square up at a time, and the first one to hit it gets the points. But there are problems before, during, and after a match starts. If you're hoping to play a random game against a random stranger, good luck. The quick match option makes you choose which game mode you want to play instead of just throwing you into whatever's available, cutting down your chances of actually finding someone to play against by 75%. There's also no in-game chat, forcing you to create a party on the PlayStation 5 itself if you want to hear each other. And when the match ends, that's it. You're not gaining XP or unlocking cool skins or even bolstering a stat sheet somewhere. It's like the game you played never happened. Sadly, the one thing I was looking forward to the most, co-op, which is mentioned in every advertisement and store description for C-Smash, simply isn't there at launch, although I was promised that it's coming very soon. Playing through journey mode side by side with a friend sounds like a pretty nice way to kill an afternoon. C-Smash does a great job of elegantly bringing the brick breaker genre into VR, but as a single-player game, it feels shallow, and as a multiplayer game, it lacks options. It's a solid foundation for a game though, so with just a few patches, content updates, and the promised co-op mode, C-Smash could become the PSVR2 classic that Cosmic Smash claims to be on the Dreamcast.